This is Bindu Chanavirappa. Hello and welcome to the Intuitional Business Analysis podcast, where I will be sharing my insights and experiences as a business analyst. In this episode, I will be sharing my take on what does a BA do. If we were to look up for definitions on business analysis, we could find multiple of them. However, what I have found for myself is more than a definition. But before I share that, let me first tell you a personal experience. My 10-year-old once asked me, "Mom, I know you are a business analyst. So what does a BA do?" These days, all questions are answered by Google. But for a change, my son came to me. And how can I let go of this opportunity? As I take a lot of pride in my profession, I started to define by saying business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an organizational context by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. By the time I completed the definition, the look on my son's face was yelling to say, "Stop, I'm not following you." Immediately, the BA in me reminded to see who my audience was. Of course, it was a 10-year-old. And therefore, I decided to tell him a story instead. I sat him up and gave him a cuddle and started the story. Once upon a time, there lived a kind and lawful king. One morning, a farmer came to his court with a problem that his harvest was persistently reducing year after year, and he was concerned that he might not have any crop at all in the coming years and desperately needed help. The king at once commanded one of his advisors to go and find out more on the farmer's situation so that he can help the farmer. The advisor accompanied the farmer to better understand the situation and the problem in every detail. He asked the farmer several questions such as when did the farmer first notice the reduction, what was the impact of this situation on his livelihood, was there any other farmers who had the same problem, and what all remedies they had already tried, etc., etc., etc. The advisor then walked around the farm, checking the quality of the crop, the soil, the water in the well, and also made conversations with the farm workers. He attentively listened to their needs. He also met with the neighboring farmers to check if they had the similar situation. He did this for a few days until he completed his investigation and identified the root cause of the problem. He consulted a few experts as required and collated all the information. The reason for the reduction in the crop was the drying of the soil. The water level in the well was going low, and therefore the crop was not supplied with sufficient water, and consequently the ground was getting drier year after year. He analyzed all the information and proposed a few solution options. The first solution option that required the least investment was to dig the well even more deeper to get more water. But there was a risk in this option. The neighboring farmers had already tried this and the results were not consistent. Some had got the water and some didn't. The second solution option, which required more investment than the first, was to set up an infrastructure to pump water from the nearby lake into the farm. Due to the higher cost in setting up of the infrastructure, the second option could be extended to the neighboring farmers who were in a similar situation and could potentially spread the cost. Finally, the third solution option was a longer-term solution. but an efficient one. It was to plant more trees around the farming land, which could hold water and avoid drying up of the soil. This improves the soil quality, rejuvenates the well and the other water bodies, which then not only addresses the problem but also enhances the quality and the quantity of the harvest. The advisor then submits this report to the king, which enables the king to make a decision on the best way to help the farmer. I then continued, "My son, on today's projects, BAs are like this advisor. They get to the root cause of the situation, analyze it, find all the relevant facts by effectively communicating with all the concerned people, and most of all, take a sense of responsibility to solve the problem." And as I said this, my son immediately remarked, "You get to solve people's problems. How cool is that?" And to me, that statement nailed it. Yes, I do use the outward skills and tools from the BA toolkit to solve a problem. But along with that, it also takes me inward to reflect on the problem that I'm addressing. And in most times, I have found the solution options emerging from within. As Albert Einstein said, "I think 99 times and find nothing." I stop thinking, swim in silence, and the truth comes to me. Going back to my definition of business analysis, along with the tangible work that we deliver, I find this profession teasing my curiosity and the desire for learning something new on every project. But most of all, it is satisfying because at the end, there is a difference made, a shift towards something new, a positive impact. Of course, most of the times. But definitely, business analysts are problem solvers. My son and I continued our conversation, which I'm going to share with you in my next episode. I hope this podcast was useful and informative. I'll see you at the next one with another story and another insight.